Hi, my name's Emily, and this is my first video exploring any abandoned or dying place. I've been a fan for quite some years of people exploring dead malls, so I decided to check out a dead mall right near my town, which I haven't been to in years. It is called the Source Mall, and it's located in Westbury, New York, on Long Island. Despite being nearly dead, there are still a few businesses left, like there's a Dave and Buster's, which you'll see later, a Fortune Off Backyard, which you'll see soon in this video. There's some food chains. Um, this carousel here is obviously innately creepy for being a nearly abandoned carousel in a dead mall, but it was also creepy for the music, which echoed throughout the entire dead mall. Like, it was always there, even if it was just playing faintly. If you could just faintly hear it, you could always hear it. So there's Fortune Off Backyard, which I guess is one of the quote-unquote anchors of this dead mall. Um, yeah, just a quick shout out to Dan Bell. I've been a fan of his abandoned videos for a while, and his Dead Mall series is what really inspired me to go out and explore this dead mall. So here at this mall, there actually are quite a few upscale food chains, like the Cheesecake Factory. There's a P.F. Chang's, um, and these restaurants do bring people to the area. But what happens is there's no incentive to come into the mall. People go straight from the parking lot to the restaurant and go back out to their cars. So even though I know firsthand that this mall definitely had its better days and it did used to be successful, I think it was doomed from the start because it is so close, only 1 to 2 miles away from one of Long Island's biggest luxury malls called Roosevelt Field. And I don't know why the two were built so close together. Maybe at first there was some collective effort to of both malls to bring people to the area. But whatever the reason, it definitely worked to the Source Mall's disadvantage. In 2012, when Roosevelt Field was getting bigger and undergoing renovations, the Source Mall was losing its biggest anchors like Fortunoff, which we could see in the background. Also in 2012, a shopping center almost literally next door to this mall opened, and I think that was the last straw for this place. I think that's when it just really couldn't take any more. From what I know and from what I read on Wikipedia, disclaimer, the mall was bought over at the end of 2016, and there are currently plans for demolition. So this looks like it was some type of Greek or Turkish fast food place. It has nice architecture. It kind of reminds me of the Mezquita in Córdoba in Spain, if anybody knows of that. Where curiosity blossoms. Definitely not at the Source Mall. This was an old Foot Locker, it looks like. Let's get a look inside there. Wow. You can imagine all the shoe sales that went on behind these bars. The floors are so 90s, aren't they? Let's get a closer look at the counter. Wow. I thought this here was interesting. Like, this entire store that you're about to see is totally cleared out. Clean, spotless, everything's gone. But they just left these two signs hanging up, and I don't know, was it accidental or was it deliberate? You know, did the people working here want to leave a sign of something that once was? Who knows? You're in luck. If you wanted a massage, there's still a spa, a functioning spa in the Source Mall. If you're very stressed out from all the shopping, you could come here and get a massage. So now we're heading into the food court, which appeared to me to be totally non-functioning. I didn't see one little food kiosk that looked like it was running at all. But there were still some people in the food court, and it looked like they were eating. So I don't know where they got their food, unless they brought it from home and just like to frequent the Source Mall food court for its nice ambience. I don't know. More choices coming soon. I was just showing this footage to my dad, and when he saw this, he could not believe it. He says he remembers circling around this parking lot for a half hour because there were so many cars. You couldn't find parking at this mall. Wow, this design actually looks like a hazard symbol. Maybe it was a sign of what was to come. It is so quiet, I could hear the humming of the lights. Yeah, when I was growing up around here, no one would ever really come to this mall to hang out. People tend to go to Roosevelt Field. This was never the place to be. Kind of always, if you needed something from here, you would come here. But now there's nothing here. What do you think? It's a mystery, isn't it? Some more children's toys. These rides, as you could hear, I'm sure throughout the video, were making many noises. It's really the only sound you could hear in the mall besides the carousel. Just think of how much money and energy they would save by turning these off, especially in this very abandoned section of the dead mall. Is a Dave & Buster's actually still in use. I don't know how many people come here, but if it's still going, it must be pretty successful for the circumstances. There was a horrible story that came out of this Dave & Buster's. Apparently a child got stabbed in the back just randomly by he must have been mentally insane, the person who did it. Fortunately, the kid was okay. We're coming on an abandoned old Circuit City, which is now just a complete storage room filled with boxes and nothingness. And just think of all the things they could do with this space. It's really massive. When I was in 6th grade, 11 years old, we were doing square dancing in gym class, and luckily my square was one of the best squares, so we got to come to this mall and perform. And I think it was down here that little 11-year-old me square danced for the public. That was a fun day. Thank you guys so much for watching my first abandoned genre video. I hope you enjoyed, and I know it wasn't perfect, but if you have any suggestions, tips, let me know.